we are going to be reacting to Awesome Sauce's Final Destination Sucks. Me being a not professional, but competitive Smash player, I don't think Final Destination sucks, but I played Ultimate, not Melee. I do play Melee, but I don't play Melee competitively. Like, really competitively. I'm not good at Melee, but I'm decent at Ultimate. I don't think FD sucks, but Awesome Sauce and along with a lot of pro players do. So, you know what? We're just gonna react to it. So, without further ado, let's get it.
It's difficult to imagine competitive Melee without Fox McCloud. He represents the game's hand-destroying technical precision and speed.
So I would spend like an hour or two practicing Fox a day, and it hurt my hands a lot. Eventually, I went to an orthopedist and was told that I have carpal tunnel in my right hand and cubital tunnel in my left hand.
He's celebrated for potentially being the best character in the game, while also...
See, that's the thing with Melee, is like there's so much technical skill that comes to like L canceling, wave dashing, wave landing, like multi-shining, wave shining, doing stuff like that, which causes some hand pain. It literally causes physical pain because the GameCube controller was not, although it's like the best feeling controller, it's not the best. Like, in terms of the best feeling controller for Nintendo, but it's not the best controller for sure. So getting carpal tunnel for playing competitive Melee is not too far-fetched. It really isn't. Like, I can make fun of this guy for sweating so hard in a party game and getting carpal tunnel for it. Like, me knowing of like the technical skill, it means a lot.
Also being arguably the easiest character in the game to combo. He's one of the fastest characters, and his ability to smother and overwhelm is nearly unmatched. But he's also somewhat fragile and can die at low percents. You could call him a glass cannon. Due to these volatile aspects of his character, most Melee players will agree that Fox is altogether fun to play as, fun to play against, and arguably what's most important for a competitive scene's longevity, fun to watch. In many regards, Fox McCloud is Melee.
Yep.
However, there is another aspect.
Whenever you think of Melee, you just think hiya, and the shine sound effect. That's what you think when you think competitive Melee, or just Melee in general.
Of the game, which I would argue is equally as emblematic, though one which is less celebrated. One that in many ways represents the antithesis to Fox's freeform volatility, his coolness, and his spectacle. Melee at its ugliest. The yang to Fox's yin, but one that we need. Final Destination.
Also, again, Final Destination's not bad.
FD is garbage.
No.
It sucks.
No.
That stage sucks.
Nope.
Especially in bracket. It is garbage.
Can't wait for the community to band together to ban
sucks.
to ban Final Destination. Such a bad stage. I don't believe that.
Especially in bracket.
I really don't.
FD, bro.
I'm going to go over a few of the reasons I think FD is bad for competitive play.
It is very, very toxic and quite important to play on.
Why don't we just ban FD right here on the podcast?
Right now? Do we have that sway?
Let's get a TO in here. Let's get Blur in here.
No,
Blur's stupid. Let's just ban it.
No items. Fox only.
Final Destination.
It started out innocently enough, a stage for the final battle against Master Hand in Smash 64's single-player mode. Hence the name Final Destination.
Yeah,
it
exactly.
Wasn't until
That's
the
why it's called
GameCube,
that.
However, that the stage became accessible for players to play on.
That is literally the reason why Final Destination is called that, is because it's the place where you fight Master Hand in classic mode, especially in the first game. In the first game, that was the one stage you couldn't play on. Or I think that was the only stage you couldn't play on was Final Destination.
And this is where the problems
Which
begin.
sucked because all of the
stage
maps
is,
on
well, Melee at its
64
ugliest.
except
Not
for
because it's buggy or
Dreamland
jank or because
were
of
not-
any unpredictable stage hazards
were not
that might
tournament
interfere
legal.
on a whim. A lot of people actually kind of dig those. In fact,
Yeah, my boy
relative to all
Randall.
28
My
other
boy
stages in the
Randall.
game, Final Destination is probably one of the most solid due to its simple geometry. There's
Yeah.
not a lot here to go awry. Instead, this stage is considered bad for many due to a more fundamental issue. It takes a beautifully complex game, a platform fighter as they're called nowadays, takes away the platforms, and strips it down to a game of cat and mouse, or the grabber and the grabbed. For most of the cast against the most popular characters in the game, namely Fox and Fox's clone, Falco,
I feel like
the
this
game
is
is
an issue
reduced to
for
a lopsided,
Melee
one-dimensional,
specifically, because
one
honestly,
option to rule them all minigame.
I don't feel
Catch
this in
the
Ultimate.
animal and juggle it. Grab into grab into grab into grab.
Yeah,
into
because you
grab,
can chain grab
with
in
no
Melee.
pesky platforms to try to escape to. You see, these two characters are what are known as fast fallers. They literally fall fast. And this property, along
Fast
with their
fallers, they
individual
fall
weight and
fast.
high gravity values, is what allows Fox, Falco, and sometimes Falcon to be subjected to not only the most devastating combos in the game.
Oh my god.
also
Wait,
to be
Falco falls
subjected-
faster?
Gravity values is what allows Fox, Falco, and sometimes Falcon to be subjected to not only the most devastating
Falco falls faster than Fox? I thought it was the other way around because, you know, Fox has metal legs. Or is it Falco that has metal legs? Fuck, I forgot.
combos in the game, but also extremely potent, evil chain grabs that you wouldn't be able to do on any other tournament stage without interference. For these fast fallers, moves with upward knockback end up not sending them as high as most other characters, and
What?
they return to where they were initially more quickly too. This means
Oh, yeah,
that moves with
fast faller,
relatively
yeah.
weak knockback, like, say, up throws, can be used to launch them just a teensy bit upward, and then, before they can jump or attack out to avoid it, be grabbed again into the exact
Yeah,
same
again,
nightmare,
this is a
until they're
this is a
dead
Melee
or about to
and
be dead. The
64
crazy part
problem.
is, the
Hell,
developers
it's even
kind
a
of
brawl
figured
problem.
This would happen, not in a literal "this is the chain grab stage" kind of way, but in a way. Existing as it is, the most simple, no-nonsense stage you can pretty much get, a keen-eyed Masahiro Sakurai figured as early as before the game even released that such a stage would result in simplified playstyles, noting, "Since there aren't any platforms, you probably won't utilize all of your techniques when fighting here. But the layout allows for a different kind of fun. This different kind of fun isn't too interesting when it's a top tier chain grabbing another top tier. What truly makes it interesting seeing a Fox or Falco or sometimes Falcon get juggled to death is when the underdogs do it.
Yeah.
Everyone likes to see the underdog win.
Hell yeah, dude. Dude, Amsa? This guy made Awesome Sauce made a whole video on Amsa. Make literally the man who made Yoshi better than he went from shit tier to top 10. You see Yoshi right here? That was one guy. That was one singular guy with a dream of being the best Yoshi. He was I think down here in the tier list, like probably like worse than Ness. And one guy who really liked Yoshi and like swore to play Yoshi in every game that allowed him to, one guy caused him to go from here to top 10. Dude, Amsa is crazy. Amsa's probably like my favorite Melee player.
That's why my most popular video is my Amsa one.
Yeah, exactly. This guy, Amsa, the only Yoshi who could.
And that's why there are about 3 trillion different DK vids. That's why the crowd and commentators sound like
the amount of DK players in the Melee scene now, holy shit.
this when the best player in the world gets beaten by ice climbers.
He's gone! He's gone!
Not get beaten by ice climbers, get 3-stocked by ice climbers. Yeah, Zane. You got done in by a guy named Nicky?
3-0 and a handshake!
and why the crowd and commentators sound like
3-0.
this
Oh, you
when
got
Zane
fucked.
does his thing to space animals.
Final Destination coming out.
Oh,
Final Destination is where dreams are either made to just come true or to be broken. I can't decide which one. Guess it depends on your path.
Whoa, check out what DK can do to space animals.
Wait a second. Pause.
Yeah, it's
Okay, okay.
Don't do that, Virgil.
Pause.
Dude, seeing DK in a tournament is so hype.
It wasn't full line though. He doesn't get stocked just yet, but finds it easily
Nah, he
with
gets
that
it.
roll up.
June. All right.
This was the only game Junebug won this set, by the way.
You know what? It was hype to watch anyway. Just to see him hit that one combo.
This isn't just some random tidbit or jab at June. It is, in fact, extremely pertinent to the subject at hand. When you have a cast consisting of mostly underdogs who, by and large, have a nigh 0 to death on 3 of the most popular and most powerful characters in the game, this modest little space platform starts looking really appealing. If you're a dude, chick, or thing who has the ability to up-throw an opponent that ostensibly has a large advantage over you, over and over and over, this stage indirectly buffs your character. In a game like Melee that hasn't seen a true balance patch in literal decades, it might seem like things are pretty set in stone. But adjusting the balance of the game without altering the game is actually pretty easy. You can ban certain characters or techniques in competitive play, sure.
Yeah, exactly. Fucking, what's it called? Wobbling. Wobbling is banned. Hell, Steve is banned in, like, a lot of, ultimate tournaments. A lot of the high-level tournaments, Steve is banned.
Wobble?
Because high-level... I hate saying the term high-level Steve players can do some stupid shit. Like, you know... ignore all hit stun at any percent.
Also simply alter the available stage list. We already know Final Destination enhances many characters against the most popular picks in the game, but what else in regard to stages can affect the game's balance? Well, let's look at a character like Fox.
Okay.
Fox McCloud, like every other character in the game, can kill opponents.
Oh, hold on. I gotta point this out for people who don't know.
Balance.
Look at Mart's portrait. Look at literally every other character's portrait. You see how there's like a red-black gradient? All right, now look at Roy. You can now not unsee it. You're welcome.
Well, let's look at a character like Fox. Fox McCloud, like every other character in the game, can kill opponents by sending them so far off the stage they either die outright or can't recover. However, by way of his up smash and up air, Fox also possesses numerous finishing options much of the cast doesn't. Kills off the top. Alright, sure. All characters are capable of killing off the top at percents ranging from pretty good to rather unreasonable. But as far as Melee goes, Fox is one of only a few characters that can kill off the top at not only reasonable percents, but also percents rather unreasonable, with fat-ass hitboxes to boot. And because of his simple confirms like shine into up smash, up throw into up smash, or up throw into up air, Fox doesn't just have the option to kill off the top easily, Fox prefers to kill off the top. This is an interesting preference to have, because while some stages are ridiculously large and might inhibit Fox's ability to take stocks with his preferred methods, many stages...
Yeah, if you... I didn't even think of that. Holy shit, yeah, if you're going against a Fox, just counterpick to Dreamland. Counterpick to Dreamland, bro. That shit's got a high ceiling.
Like 5 of the 6 legal stages actually err on the more petite side and inadvertently strengthen Fox's power.
Yeah, no. If this is the... If Final Destination sucks and makes low tier characters be able to chain grab like this, then why is a majority of the stages preferable to Fox? I get he's the face of Melee, but why is it all preferable to Fox? You know, the best character in the fucking game.
On these stages, Fox can simply get a character to a modest percent, hit an up smash, and kill. This is the strength of certain stages for Fox. And because certain stages make up most of the tournament legal stage list, this is also no doubt part of the reason Fox is the most common character represented in top level play.
Yeah.
This isn't to say there's some melee Illuminati working to maintain Fox's dominance in the meta, tirelessly ensuring relatively small
No, but to be fair, all of these stages, like, whilst they're advantageous to Fox, they are all, like, fair stages. Well, I say fair, but look at look at PS2 or not PS2, just Pokemon Stadium, because this is Melee. Just look at Pokemon Stadium. Literally. the stage transformations alone is just like a little bit iffy, but all the other stages are fair. They have like 3 platforms, no platforms, moving 3 sets of platforms, Randall. But they're all advantageous to Fox, which means, as the title says, we need Final Destination for shit like this.
Stages that benefit his primary method of killing remain the majority of legal picks.
Look, I don't play Melee, but I can look at the competitive scene and still look at it and be like, okay, why is this a thing? Why does this happen? Because I didn't just play competitive. I literally grew up with Smash. This was like the game series I grew up with. So I kind of know my shit.
Stages are just the least wacky, and by that merit, seem the most apt for competition to the community. These stages also just happen to be pretty small compared to some other stages.
Very niche things about Smash I know by heart.
Stage list as it exists now plays to Fox's strengths. These upsides and downsides of certain stages are what make having different stages to play on interesting. It gives the game variety and spice, and keeps the game fresh and interesting despite the game being old enough to drink. It also allows different characters—
Wait a minute! Wait a dilly damn second. This game came out in 2001, I think. Did it not? Wait. When was Melee released? Well, regardless, it's old enough to drink. And so am I. I had a few drinks before this.
To shine in different ways. Some characters like platforms.
It's Amza! Amza moment!
Crazy good.
Some characters really don't like the—
Dude, no, look at this guy's— look at this Yoshi movement, bro. Look at this Yoshi movement.
Platforms.
God!
Crazy.
This is why this man single-handedly moved Yoshi to top 10.
Some characters really don't like the top platform.
Her big lead ain't on Dreamland where he has the top platform. He's gonna use it.
Yeah. Might as well.
Some characters like walls they can hug. Some characters—
Oh yeah, I forgot Mario can do that shit. There's a small window after his up B where you can wall jump.
Might as well.
And not go into free fall. So
like
he could just do this.
They can hug. Some characters—
he could just do that.
Characters like empty space beneath the stage's ledges. And indeed—
Battlefield, baby.
some characters like total flatness against some other characters.
Yeah.
In my opinion, this is the most important give and take of any legal stage, because, like most of the legal stages buff Fox and others who like to go for kills off the top, intentionally or not, Final Destination is a balancing to go for kills off the top.
Shit, I guess.
Intentionally or not, Final Destination is a balancing measure in the opposite direction. It puts dominant characters on their back foot, and that's really good for the game. It's good that the winningest, most ubiquitous characters in the game have a foil stage.
Slightly farther than you
expect. Up throw.
Yeah, dude. Chain grab.
Up throw.
Hey!
Up tilt. Up throw.
I kind of forget he has a chain grab.
Up throw.
Yeah, right? Everyone forgets the chain
Up throw.
Let's talk about the—
This continued to get chain grabbed to 109, then died shortly after.
relationship between casuals, professionals, and everyone in between in regards to a
I'm in between,
gaming
guys.
scene. Casuals are people who only play the game a bit, or not at all. People who like the social aspect of the scene and the spectacle of competitive play, but don't necessarily engage in any aspect of competition seriously.
This is
People
me.
who perhaps mostly engage with the game through videos like mine and Walt's.
Yeah.
Everyone starts as a casual before, if they decide to, making the dive into practicing and entering.
Yeah, I was a casual coming up to Brawl. That's the fun thing, is that I was a casual ever since like whilst Brawl was out, playing it as a kid, having fun. But then once Wii U came out, I tried to take it more seriously. And then Smash Ultimate came out, and I took it really seriously, and I became really good at Smash. I say really good. I'm not actually that good. Hell, the tournament that I was practicing for like not too long ago, I got to losers like second round, I think. I got my shit rocked by a Luigi player and then a sweaty Ness.
Tournaments with the goal of improvement or winning. Casuals also.
And hell, I was playing Kirby for most of the tournament. So yeah, I'm not that good.
Also make up the majority of Melee's viewer base, because, let's face it, not all, or even close to all 30,000 Twitch viewers or 4 million YouTube viewers are interested in actively playing and grinding Melee. Regardless, casuals are important for the scene.
Yeah.
More casuals means more viewers, obviously.
Yeah, more casuals means more viewers, which means more people being hyped about a bunch of people, or rather a Fox and a Falco going at it on Final Destination. Now I'm seeing where this video is coming from.
It signals to people on the outside we have a healthy, exciting scene, and attracts more people as they discuss and watch the game. More viewers attract larger and more lucrative sponsors for both players and tournaments, allowing players to travel more often and allowing tournaments to be run at all. You know what casuals love to see? Underdogs winning. That's why my most popular video is my AMSA one, and why there are about 3 trillion different DK. You get the idea. That is why Final Destination is important. It aids the underdog. Now, I do realize the irony in Yoshi's worst stage being Final Destination, but let's not dwell on what's really an outlier. Plus, if we really think about it, Final Destination is still a massive part of AMSA's story, as he flips the stage on its head and uses it as a counterpick himself to claim his first major victory.
I think. Yeah, because his first major victory, he was going against, I think, Cody? I think it was Cody? No, it was fucking Mango. It was against Mango. He was playing against Mango, and Mango was using the platforms better than he was. So he said, fuck it, Final Destination, and he beat his ass.
FD's not good.
Dude, look at him go.
Yoshi love platforms.
He loved platforms.
Yeah.
He loved platforms.
When Axe, a Pikachu player, won the major Smash Summit 8 against the likes of Zane, Leffen, Mango, and Wizrobe, his go-to counterpick against fastfallers was Final Destination. The final match of the tournament, the match that secured him his big fat mid-tier W, was played on FD. And
Falco
the match that secured
Duck.
him his big fat
Falco Duck, actual trophy. Yeah. Falco Duck.
mid-tier W was played on FD, and that set is now one of the most viewed sets of Melee ever.
Okay. Here we go.
Up throw, up throw, up smash.
He's on stage.
Junebug's only win against Mango this set being on FD is not a coincidence. Junebug counterpicked it because he knows it's a good being on FD is not a coincidence. Junebug counterpicked it.
He parried the laser. Did he catch him on that?
Because he knows it's a good stage for DK against the fast faller, Falco. It's also not a coincidence that, in the sets following, Mango has sometimes opted to go Dr. Mario on this stage, because at least he won't get juggled to death. Recently, New York Fox main Aklo beat the best player in the world, Zane, using just his Link secondary, and coincidentally, a bunch of Link videos began cropping up afterward. Pretty cool. What's more interesting though, is that you can see trace inklings of this strategy in prior sets. before Aklo would employ it in sets against Zane, like in matches against Peach and Pikachu. Well, at least on one stage, Final Destination. Why? Because these characters chain grab the shit out of his actual main, Fox.
In the reality of a tournament setting, it's most realistic to play Link against Marth on FD or like Peach on FD.
See, this stage can sometimes feel so oppressive.
Yeah, you can
for
play
Foxes
Peach
and
on
Falcos.
FD. Peach is a good character. Sheik is a good character. Probably not, like, I'm pretty sure Sheik hasn't even won a major yet. And that's saying something considering Pikachu and Yoshi has. Yoshi has several times by, you know, the same guy. But don't use the best character in the game as a crutch. Why do you, it's like, why do you guys think, what was it? I stopped playing Joker in Ultimate and switched to Kirby. It's because I don't want to use Joker as a crutch. I used to be good with Joker, but my friends hated me for it. Because, oh, Daddy Arsene. But then I whooped their ass with Kirby and they can't say shit because Kirby is ass.
It encourages people who play these characters to switch off of them, down the tier list. And this trend of contingent characters isn't even necessarily limited to fast fallers. In fact, in a set with Aklo a few weeks after losing to him, Zane opted to go Roy on FD because he was already up 2-0, and
Roy
kinda
though?
likey to FD.
Oh no, not there!
Okay, you know what? He won. I don't care. It don't matter.
You know, judging
He
from
won.
Battlefield's trophy saying the stage was intended for more serious play, we can assume that the similarly space-themed, purple, no-gimmick stage was also meant for serious play. It's ironic that this stage is, in reality, a big part of keeping Melee's silliness intact. Even when it's not a low-tier counterpicking top-tier menace, the stage encourages character variety anyway. As I explained before, Mango, a Fox and Falco dual main, will occasionally go one of the Mario brothers on Final Destination because he doesn't want to get chain grabbed. This has led to several situations where Axe, the Pikachu player I spoke of earlier, also switches characters to Young Link, a matchup that would literally never be seen at top level, let alone top 8.
Dude, Super Smash Con Mario versus Young Link is crazy. On FD.
Major without this stage.
No way.
Oh,
No
they're
way!
doing it. They're doing it for the fans.
Oh!
You see the crowd going
all
crazy
for
for
the
this? Hold on, wait. What's the score? Oh, this is game 2. Okay,
Recently,
never mind.
we've
I
seen
thought, dude, imagine game 3. Imagine game 3 of Grand Finals, and it's Young Link versus Mario, dude. That would be crazy.
And pick up Sheik for Marth,
Or
in
game
no small
5.
part due to Marth's strength against his main, Fox, especially on this one stage. In response, Zane had an extremely short stint where he counterpicked Ice Climbers on FD against him.
Yeah, Ice Climbers generally like FD because, you know, they can chain grab you. And not only because of the band technique, but they can also just chain grab you because of desync.
Character
It's stupid.
counterpicks and character counterpicks are fun to see, and it's something I doubt we'd see much at all if it weren't for Final Destination.
Also, they could chain grab Sheik. they had to put that one in
Remember
there.
at the beginning when I said all those nice things about Fox?
Yeah.
Well, I was embellishing him in some regards. Fox does represent the game's technical demands and high-speed gameplay, but in his own way, he's one of the easiest characters in the game. He has options for everything. Options that characters not even 2 spaces away on the tier list lack.
I've always had gripes on like having kill confirms versus Fox because you can't really kill Fox off the top the way he can. Right.
He does die early sometimes, but he still has one of the best recoveries in the game, and he can kill nearly every character as early as he can be killed. Fox players make up more than a
My
third
God, that was
of the
bad.
best 100 players in the world, proportionately way more than characters who are nearly or equally as played. He's often the character people switch to when they want to cover their bad matchups, or when they want to see competitive success. And it's not because he's more difficult than the character.
This man made a Google Docie to say that he's playing Fox. How sad of a community is this? Dude, just play Fox. If people look at you and be like, oh, you're a traitor. Like, dude. Bro. Can you win thousands of dollars in a tournament? I think not, bitch.
Where they're switching from. Fox is melee, but it can feel difficult to root for a Fox player when the deck is so stacked in their favor.
Is that kill? Fox is stupid.
Wow, that's stupid.
Compare this to when a mid or low tier, or even just a less popular good character begins doing well. It's a special thing that generates discussion and admiration. Because it's cool to see a non-Vulpes do well. And for many of these instances where they do well, Final Destination is an important part of their success. It's foolish to pretend that Melee of all games somehow loses integrity when a stage like Final Destination enables playstyles that suck to play against.
Don't go down there.
Why did he think that was a good idea? He was camping him. He was camping him so hard and he wave dashed into the tree.
Destination enables playstyles that suck to play against.
See, okay, me watching a lot of Awesome Sauce, I look at this, it's like, dude, that was obvious that was gonna happen. But who knows? Cody might have looked at that like, what the fuck? What was that? What was that shit? So what? What?
In my opinion, it's even—
Oh my god, look at Moki's face! Look at this motherfucker grinning ear to ear!
In my opinion, it's even more foolish to push for a stage which lends itself to volatility and excitement to be removed, especially in a game that thrives on the hype of the underdog. So let the shitty characters have their shitty stage. They've still got to fight the odds on all the other ones. And yeah, Final Destination might be a shit stage. I mean, it definitely is. But it is the shit stage that Melee thrives on. And just like Fox McCloud, it might just be Melee.
A lot of people like have advocated to get FD banned because there is some like stupid stuff on it, but I think it's like
W video Awesome Sauce. Anyway, that was Final Destination sucks, which it doesn't. We have clearly just watched that it doesn't. Hope you guys enjoyed the reaction to this. Go check out Awesome Sauce, of course, and then hope to see you guys in the next video. Subscribe, and as always, hope you're all in. Okay, bye.